A really common conversation I have with customers is they come to me and say they're looking at a SIEM solution. Now, when you kind of dive into that and kind of really lift the hood, what the customer tends to actually want is a platform that will take their siloed security estate and give them actionable kind of output on where to prioritize their response actions. So with a SIEM solution, it's a log aggregation platform. With, when we're looking at security, you want as much visibility as physically possible into your estate. So you want to forward logs from all your different products, NetFlow logs, for example, as well, which are very noisy. And because SIEM solutions are based on a cost model of the amount of data that you ingest into the platform, this can become quite expensive quite quickly. Flip side of this as well is also customers tend to be, in my experience, a common thing we see is that the IT teams are very stretched. They don't just look after security. They're not a dedicated SecOps team. So to manage and run a full SIEM solution, it's not necessarily practical for most kind of commercial mid-market organizations I speak to. So XDR is a great alternative to that because you can forward as much telemetry as you want into the platform. It's based on a per user license model. So it doesn't matter, if you want to send all your NetFlow data, all your firewall logs, EDR, etc. It's not a problem at all, because what it'll do is it will take those logs, it will normalize them, it will keep any logs that are relevant to a security incident, but if they're not relevant, it will pass them. So you don't collect those logs. Essentially what it will do is take those logs, map them to MITRE TTPs and live threat intelligence feeds from Talos, and that will give you an output score. You take that output score and you multiply it by, you can give your assets a value in the platform. So business critical kind of assets, you'd have a high priority score. You multiply the threat score against the asset value and it gives you a priority score, which is great because for those lean teams, when they come into work on a Monday morning, it will tell them where they need to prioritize their investigations and remediation actions. Obviously, because it's an XDR platform, we can build out a whole load of different kind of automated response actions to make that kind of case a little bit easier. Now, it's worth noting that with Cisco XDR, there's 3 different licensing tiers. You've got Essentials, which is for customers that want to integrate just Cisco security solutions. Very, very rare, hardly ever happens. Most customers, they would be looking at the Advantage tier because that gives you the ability to integrate all third-party solutions that are supported. So it doesn't matter if for your firewalls you're using Forti or Palo or Checkpoint or Cisco. We can take in logs from those. We can take in all the process data from the endpoint with the network visibility module, which is part of Cisco Secure Client. From an EDR perspective, we can take in your log data from let's say CrowdStrike, Microsoft Defender, Trend Micro, SentinelOne, Cisco Secure Endpoint, wherever it may be, not a problem. Network telemetry and behavioral analytics, we've got Secure Network Analytics, we can take in ExtraHop, we can take in Darktrace. It's very, very kind of vendor agnostic for what it can pull in. So, that's great for the number of organizations that want to manage this and want to respond to those incidents in-house. If a customer hasn't got that capability, where I see huge, huge value is the Premier licensing tier. So that gives you all the capabilities of Advantage, but it means you can add on services. So essentially, you get to add on managed detection and response from Cisco SOC analysts. So 24/7, 365, you can have Cisco SOC personnel actively proactively hunting for threats in your environment 24/7, 365. So that's a huge peace of mind. Also, if the proverbials really hit the fan and you can't operate as a business due to, say, a ransomware outbreak, you get an incident response retainer as part of that kind of contract as well. So if you really have to, you can draft in global industry leading incident response specialists from the Talos team. Any questions at all about XDR, its capabilities, its integrations, please feel free to drop me a message. Thanks very much.